With a total area of 181,035 square kilometers, 69,898 square miles, Cambodia, formerly the Kingdom of Cambodia, is a nation in Southeast Asia. Its borders with Thailand to the northwest, Laos to the north, Vietnam to the east, and the Gulf of Thailand to the southwest. Phnom Penh is the nation's capital and largest metropolis. There are over 17 million people living in the independent country of Cambodia. More than 97% of the population practices Buddhism, which is recognized as the official national religion in the constitution. The minority populations of Cambodia include the Vietnamese, Chinese, Khams, and 30 hill tribes. With two distinct seasons and a central floodplain centered on the Tunnel Sap Lake and the Mekong Delta that is bordered by mountainous terrain, Cambodia has a tropical monsoon climate. Phnom Penh, Cambodia's capital and largest city, serves as the nation's political, economic, and cultural hub. The head of state of the elective constitutional monarchy is currently Norodom Sihamoni, who was chosen by the Royal Council of the Throne. The head of state is the Prime Minister, who is now Hun Sen and has been in power since 1985. He is the longest-serving non-royal leader in Southeast Asia. The Indianized empires of Funan and its successor, Chinla, merged into modern-day Cambodia and southwest Vietnam during the 3rd, 4th, and 5th centuries. Over 2,000 years, the region that would become Cambodia absorbed Indian influences and transmitted them to the Southeast Asian civilizations that would become Thailand and Laos. 37. For several of these polities, not much further is known, but Chinese histories and tribute records do make note of them. It is thought that the harbor known to Alexandrian geographer Claudius Ptolemy as Katigara may have been located on the area of Funan. According to Chinese chronicles, after Jayavarmana of Chinla died in 681, there was unrest that led to the division of the kingdom into Land Chinla and Water Chinla, which were then loosely governed by weak kings under Java's control. The Tunnel Sap, Great Lake, and the higher sections of the Mekong River Delta are located on a low-lying central plain that is flanked by uplands and low mountains in Cambodia. Transitional plains, which are sparsely wooded and rise to altitudes of around 650 feet or 200 meters above sea level, extend away from this center region. The Cambodian plain is bordered to the north by a sandstone escarpment that forms a cliff that faces south and stretches more than 200 miles, or 320 kilometers, from west to east before abruptly rising to heights of 600 to 1,800 feet above the plain. The Dangreg Mountain's southernmost point is marked by this cliff. The Mekong River runs across eastern Cambodia to the south. The Eastern Highlands, which are a region of forested mountains and high plateaus that stretch into Laos and Vietnam, gradually converge with the transitional plains east of the Mekong. Another highland region, spanning much of the terrain between the Tunnel Sap and the Gulf of Thailand, is formed in southwest Cambodia by two different upland blocks, the Kravanh Mountains and the Dam Riai Mountains. Phnom Aural, Cambodia's tallest peak, rises to an elevation of 5,949 feet or 1,813 meters in this remote and largely unpopulated region. The southwestern highlands separate the southern coastal region, which borders the Gulf of Thailand, from the central plain. It is a thin lowland strip that is densely forested and scarcely populated. Like the rest of Southeast Asia, Cambodia experiences monsoons, which are distinguished by unique seasonal variations and are referred to as tropical wet and dry. The 180 known tree species in Cambodia's seasonal tropical forests and riparian ecosystems are significantly responsible for the country's biodiversity. Science has identified 212 species of mammals, 536 types of birds, 240 kinds of reptiles, 850 kinds of freshwater fish in the Tunnel Sap Lake region, and 435 kinds of marine fish. The Tunnel Sap Lake and its environs comprise a large portion of this biodiversity. The country's second largest source of hard currency is the tourist sector, behind the textile sector. Over 6 million foreign visitors arrived in 2018, a tenfold increase since the start of the 21st century. 26% of the workforce in the nation works in tourism, providing over 2.5 million jobs for Cambodians. In addition to Phnom Penh and Angkor Wat, other prominent tourist locations in Cambodia include Battambang in the northwest and Sihanoukville in the southwest, both of which are well-liked stopover for backpackers who make up a substantial part of tourists. Visitors are particularly drawn to the region near Kampot and Kep, notably the Bakar Hill Station. Since the UNTAC elections in 1993, when things have been rather stable, tourism has steadily increased every year. The majority of foreign visitors in 2018 were Chinese. Over $4.4 billion in tourism revenue was collected in 2018, which is close to 10% of the kingdom's GDP. The biggest draws for tourists from abroad include the Angkor Wat historical site in Siem Reap province, the beaches in Sihanoukville, the capital city Phnom Penh, and Cambodia's 150 casinos, up from just 57 in 2014. The foundation of the Cambodian economy is agriculture. In 1985, agriculture accounted for 90% of the GDP and employed about 80% of the workers. The main commodity is rice. Maize, cassava, sweet potatoes, groundnuts, soybeans, sesame seeds, dry beans, and rubber are important secondary crops. Rubber is the main crop for commerce. It was a significant primary good in the 1980s, second only to rice, and one of the nation's few sources of foreign currency. More than 95% of the population in Cambodia practices Theravada Buddhism, which is practiced at 4,392 monastery temples across the nation. It is the official religion of the nation. Hinduism and indigenous animism have had a significant influence on Cambodian Buddhism. The indigenous folk religion is the source of the strong connections between spirits and the community, the effectiveness of apotropaic and luck-attracting activities and charms, and the potential for life manipulation through communication with spiritual beings like the Baromi spirits. Beyond the magical tantric rites and the numerous Hindu gods who have been incorporated into the spirit world, Hinduism has left very little of itself behind. A distinctive feature of Cambodian apparel is the krama scarf, which is worn by rural Cambodians. The sampia is a customary greeting or method of respect in Cambodia. The Khmer culture, as it was created and disseminated by the Khmer Kingdom, features unique dancing, architectural, and artistic traditions that have historically been exchanged with neighboring Laos and Thailand. Along with the several other temples that have been found in and around the area, Angkor Wat is the best preserved example of Khmer architecture from the Angkorian era. As in other Southeast Asian nations, rice serves as the main food source. Another significant component of the cuisine includes fish from the Mekong and Tunnel Sap rivers. As of 2000, there were 20 kilos, or 2 ounces, of fish and fish products available per person for consumption and commerce. For extended storage, some of the fish can be turned into prahak. There are tropical fruits, soups, and noodles in Cambodian cuisine. Kaffir lime, lemongrass, garlic, fish sauce, soy sauce, tamarind, ginger, oyster sauce, coconut milk, and black pepper are essential components. Aping, fish amok, and number banchak are some of the delicacies. The nation also offers a variety of unique local street delicacies. Khmer classical dance, folk dance, and social dances are the 3 primary divisions of Cambodian dance. It's unclear where Khmer classical dance originated exactly. While the majority of native Khmer scholars believe that Siamese court dancers in the 1800s taught contemporary Khmer dance techniques, others maintain that modern Khmer dance styles were learned or relearned from them. The diverse cultural and ethnic groups of Cambodia are celebrated through Cambodian folk dance, which is frequently performed to Mahori music. Folk dances have their origins in the villages and are typically performed by the villagers for the villagers. Less stylized motions are used, and the dancers are dressed like the characters they are representing, such as farmers, Cams, or hill tribes. Folk dances often feature themes of the common person, such as love, humor, or warding off evil spirits, and are more briskly paced than classical dancing. Guests at banquets, receptions, or other casual social occasions may dance socially. Traditional social dances in Cambodia are comparable to those in other Southeast Asian countries. The circle dances Ramvang and Rombak, as well as Saravan and Lam Leave, are examples. The Cha-Cha, Bolero, and Madison, three contemporary popular dances from the West, have also inspired Cambodian social dance. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.